In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at perennial flowers that will continue to bloom all summer. If you're looking for particular plants that will come back every year, they're hardy, and they will just keep providing you with flowers endlessly throughout the summer, then look no further, because that's exactly what we're going to be taking a look at in today's video. And we have some very fun ones on this list that I think you're going to enjoy a lot. So let's check some of them out. First of all, we have the hardy geraniums. This one is called Geranium Roseanne, and this has been flowering since late spring, but it'll keep flowering right up until the very first frosts. As you can see, this has got a massive carpet of beautiful sort of light flowers, and the same can really be said about most types of hardy geranium. They will just keep on flowering. Now, there are some geranium variants which are called, I believe, Phaeum, that won't last quite as long as these. But any of the regular sort of hardy geraniums like Dreamland, and then another one that I'm going to bring you over to, which is over here, called Geranium Roseanne with those beautiful purple flowers, will keep on flowering all season. So this is really perfect. I don't even deadhead mine. I guess you can, but I don't feel like it's something you have to do. You could maybe do a little bit of deadheading if you wanted to, but I don't think it's as essential for these types of plants as it is for others. I mean, when it comes to Geranium Dreamland, it is a sterile plant. I came out with the American accent there. For all you American viewers, there's my American version. No, but what I'm trying to say is Geranium Dreamland and I think Roseanne are both sterile plants, which means that they're not going to self-seed or anything like that. So they can keep on flowering. They're not worried about going to seed or anything. They can just keep on flowering, keep on going, which is nice. So that really helps with their prolific flowering in your garden, which is something I really like a lot. The next is Verbena Bonariensis, which is this incredibly tall, purple-looking perennial plant. It gets to just above 6 foot. It loves a very sunny position in your garden. It's absolutely beloved by pollinators and butterflies, as you can see from the video. And yeah, it'll fill the backs of your borders very nicely. Again, this is a plant that does not need to be deadheaded. It is actually incredibly prolific in terms of self-seeding. But, you know, don't worry about that. It's just free plants, right? But yeah, if you're worried about self-seeding and you don't want this to go everywhere, then, you know, keep an eye out. But what I am here to say is this is an incredibly prolific flowerer that will flower all summer long. It'll flower from maybe like the end of June, halfway through June to the end of June, and it'll just keep on going. It'll really keep on going. It won't stop. You don't deadhead this plant. This is not the sort of plant you deadhead. I've never seen anyone do it. I've never heard of anyone doing it. I've never done it personally. You don't need to deadhead Verbena Bonariensis. It'll just keep on flowering. And like I said, the butterfly is absolutely crazy for this. I have something called a buddleia, which is a butterfly bush. That's literally what it's called. And no joke, my butterflies ignore it for this Verbena. They ignore it. This Verbena, I found, is their most beloved one in my garden. I mean, I don't want to pan too fast, but if I can, there he is. Sorry for the quick movements, but you can kind of see that butterfly that's weaving his way in and out of all the Verbena. So yeah, they absolutely love it. It's definitely one that you need in your garden if you want something that'll keep on flowering. Now, this is Knautia Macedonia, which is this beautiful scabious type of plant with this sort of reddish purpley pink type color on it. And oh my goodness, this will just keep on flowering for you basically all summer long. It'll actually flower from late spring heading all the way into late summer. So this is definitely one to have. This plant will reward you heavily by deadheading it. Now, unlike the others I've mentioned in this video, this is one that is absolutely crucial to deadhead. You need to give this a deadhead so that it'll keep on producing flowers. If you don't, you won't get such a beautiful display. But as you can see, the back of this border is just absolutely filled with the colors of it. And I have so many throughout my entire garden that, you know, go crazy all summer long, and they're really nice and tall. They're not as tall as Verbena. They maybe get to about like 5 foot 6, 7, 8 roughly. They love to be in full sun. I know this one isn't right now, but it was in sun for pretty much all day. Although I do have one that is like in partial shade and it's still doing great. And yeah, as long as you keep on seeing those new heads coming, which I'll give you an example. Like, let's take a look at this. It's kind of hard to focus on it, sorry, because it's so small. But yeah, take a look for the new buds coming through. And if they are still coming through, keep on deadheading it and it will reward you with flowers all summer long, which is really nice. Now, another one, which is nearby, is Erigeron, karvinskianus. Now, this carpet-forming plant is beloved for growing in sort of cracks and crevices of pathways. It self-seeds and will just go everywhere. But I love it so much. Like the geranium, this one is great for filling gaps in your garden on the floor. It won't get tall or anything like that. It'll just spread out. And yes, it'll keep on flowering. I think you can technically deadhead this, but because there's just so many flowers on it, I personally don't really do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't. I'm just saying for me personally, I don't really deadhead these. I just kind of let them do their own thing. And maybe you don't want to deadhead them too much if you do want them to self-seed as well, which I always think is fun to get like a whole row and mat of these. But this is just one plant and it's probably the biggest one in my garden, to be fair, but I do have others that are a similar size. So yeah, this is a really great one that'll just keep on flowering those beautiful white daisies and the pink daisies. It's like a seaside sort of plant. A lot of people have it in those conditions. It quite likes sandy soil. I mean, judging by the fact that literally growing between pavers, that should really tell you that this plant just does not care. It doesn't care. It'll grow wherever it wants. It's not bothered at all about anything. It's wonderful. It is really a beautiful one in my opinion. And it's just one that I absolutely love. And look at that butterfly. Oh, he's zoomed off, but he was enjoying looking at it too, I think. So yeah, definitely a really lovely one to get your hands on. Next, we have Astrantia. I believe this one is Astrantia Roma. This one actually does need to be deadheaded at the moment. The plant will benefit from that. I've kind of just let it go to seed. But Astrantia is a really great plant that will keep on flowering. It's very low growing, but it will spread out nicely and have this beautiful sort of very dainty like flower. I don't really know how to describe what it looks like. It reminds me in a way of some of the dahlias, you know. I don't know if anyone else kind of gets where I'm coming from, but it gives me that vibe. But yeah, it'll keep on flowering all summer long. It has no problem doing that whatsoever in your garden. It is very prolific. It's great in cut flower arrangements as well. I know a lot of people get it for that particular reason. So yeah, you definitely want yourself some Astrantia. It's also just a great sort of, it goes well with a lot of other plants, you know. I've got it here right next to my really tall Verbena, which might seem like an odd combination, but it does actually kind of work. So there's lots of different things you can do with this one. Next we have Achillea. Now this one is Achillea gold plate. It comes out in these beautiful tall stems of really gold colors. However, there are so many different types of Achillea out there, so many different colors. I have one over in this other border, which I'm going to show you. You can kind of see it over here. It's a red one called Achillea Summer Wine, which is a bit more low growing. Although I really love these tall ones. Look how many buds and heads are coming up on them. So many. I think you actually can deadhead Achillea, although mine aren't even showing any signs of wear or anything at this point, which is kind of crazy. So I guess you can. That's something I need to learn about myself personally before I speak on it too much. But either way, it'll just keep on flowering all summer. That's just what it does. Achillea is a very natural plant. It likes to be in fairly dry soils, I believe, and it'll grow really well in full sun too. It's the sort of plant you would see growing naturally just out in the wild, so some people aren't as keen on it, especially this yellow and white variety, which is the ones you tend to see out often. But I love it. I think it's so amazing. I love the fact it's more of a sort of natural type plant, you know, that you might just see growing out there. I think that really adds to the appeal. So yeah, fantastic. You can collect seeds from it as well, and they're really easy to grow. You won't believe how many Achillea I grew from seed this year. It was crazy, and the pollinators seem to love them as well. Like I said, imagine a color of a perennial, and there's probably one there for Achillea, honestly. They seem to come in every single color variety, which I think is so cool. So yeah, I really love them, and I think they are amazing for the garden. Next we have the perennial wallflower. This is Erysimum Bowls Mauve. This one's actually starting to look a bit dead at the moment, and the reason for that is because I haven't kept up with deadheading it, so I need to come out and really give this a deadhead before it all goes to seed. This is definitely a type of plant you don't want to go to seed, because once it does, it starts getting very straggly at the bottom, like you can see here. Not so nice. But when you actually take care of this properly, unlike me, it'll just continue flowering all summer long, from like proper springtime, like mid-spring, all the way through to the end of summer. It's amazing like that. This one is Erysimum Bowls Mauve. There are some varieties of Erysimum out there that aren't nearly as hardy, so this is one I would recommend the most. Everyone seems to have this beautiful purple one, and yeah, there's a reason for that. It's because it is one of the most hardiest ones that you will find in your garden, so I absolutely love it. You all know by now, if you watch my garden tours, that I absolutely love Nepeta. This one is Nepeta's Walker's Low, which fills the edges of my pathways beautifully. I've also got another variety over here. Same variety, I should say, but you know, another one. And again, this Nepeta will just keep flowering all summer long. A lot of people do a Chelsea chop on this, which is basically when the Chelsea flower show is going on here in England, they cut this thing back. You can either cut it back by half or just cut back all the flower stems completely, and it will reward you by giving you even more flowers. With mine, I just chose to cut back portions of it that were going over at that current time, and now I've kind of just let it do its thing. It's still producing new flower stems, but most of the flower stems that have been there for a while still look good. You will start to see some of it go a bit brown, but I still think it looks quite nice, to be honest with you. My kind of main issue is when you cut it back, you get it looking a bit like this, which some people might really like. I'm not huge on. It's like a big ball now. It's like a topiary sort of shrub type thing now, which again, some people might like. And again, this will encourage a whole second flush of flowers on it, which can be really great. So that'll bring you through to the end of the year. Personally, I'm not as big on that sort of look, so it's up to you how you want to do it. But for me, you know, I don't know, I'm not as huge. Now another one is the Geums. Specifically in this video, I'm going to go for Geum Totally Tangerine. Now I've already cut back so many dead stems on this, but yet it is still coming up with brand new flowers. With this, you don't need to deadhead each individual head because this is a sterile plant. What you need to do instead is actually cut all the way down at the base of the plant once all of those flowers have stopped and you see no more heads. And it will reward you by bringing up even more stems again and again and again. This is the type of plant that, because it's sterile, it can just keep on flowering all the way through. It'll be from like the middle of spring all the way until the end of the year if you do it right. So I absolutely love this one. I think it is fantastic and definitely one to have in your garden if you want something that'll just keep on going. Finally, we have Penstemons, which is this beautiful, almost foxglove looking plant. It's really sort of similar, but Penstemons, as far as I'm concerned, is more of a kind of water-loving plant. It likes the conditions to be quite wet, I think. At least that is to the best of my memory. And yeah, it grows really well back here in my border. It gets a decent amount of sun. It's actually fairly well hidden, so I might need to move this one. But again, this is one that'll just keep on flowering. I believe you can deadhead it and you'll get rewarded with more. So it's definitely worth doing that. But yeah, if you're looking for something that'll just keep on going all year, then highly consider getting yourself some different Penstemons. So that is everything for now. There are so many others though, so leave a comment down below with some of your favorite plants that just keep on flowering all summer long. I would love to hear.